Dexperience.
Yeah, he's got.
Sweet. Okay.
Dex.
Lava!
Is that gonna be our intro?
Yeah, that's my intro every
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Welcome
it's
to
stuck now.
Dexperience, everybody. I think this is episode 8 now of our podcast, but we're up to episode 10 of the anime, and today we're going to be discussing Bulbasaur and the Hidden Village. And you're listening with Logan.
Dennis.
Harry.
Oliver.
There we go. Oliver's always last and slightly delayed. That's good. That's good to know. Now I've
He's
got a
always
fun.
on point.
I've got a good fun challenge for you three pokey so-called masters.
Mm-hmm.
I've got up some
Red
moves
wine, Harry.
on my
No,
phone,
Pepsi.
and I'm just going to read the description of the move.
Oh,
And
okay.
I want you guys to guess.
Can we have buzzers? Because like I was going through the other episodes and like we just kind of said them. Like,
How about you clap or something?
no, yeah, like maybe I'll go like.
I like to each have a
look,
unique noise.
We'll do
Yeah.
the cry of a like a Pokemon that we like.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I would be Pidgeot.
I'm
Oliver.
repping I'm repping the Squirtle shirt, so it's Squirtle.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Here we go. On the first turn, the user will dive down for one turn and become invulnerable. Yes, Oliver.
Dive.
Okay.
So you can call out if you know before I finish. You can
Okay.
call out.
Okay.
So Oliver's winning so far.
He's got 1 point. Can you put a finger up so we can keep track?
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, what's the
Wait, so what this one? Oh yeah, so the higher the user's HP, the more damage caused.
Squirtle.
Charmander.
Yes, Oliver?
Final Gambit.
No, hold on. I got in first.
Ah, yes, Harry?
I didn't hear you.
So-
You should. How do you? Wait. Logan's the only judge.
Is it
Hey.
water sport?
No.
Oh, poop.
It's
Then I was
it's
Final Gambit.
Nah, it's PP5, power 150, accuracy 150%,
What type is it?
fire. I think. Yeah, fire type move introduced in Generation 3.
Oh, I
There's
should
more
know
HP.
this. I should know this. Wait.
It's the
so-
signature move of Torkoal.
Wait.
Oh.
Pidgeot. Is
yes.
it overheat?
No.
Oh.
No.
Squirtle.
that's what I'm
Squirtle.
Yes?
Squirtle. Eruption?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
I should
can
have
think
known that. I have had
It's
a
the
Torkoal.
fire equivalent of water sport. Damn.
Okay, you
Alright,
one
Harry, put
finger
up
up, Harry.
Okay.
Okay.
Need to get on the board.
Is an increased priority move that will increase the damage done by the user's ally this turn by 50%.
Oh, Pidgeot!
Yes?
Helping hand.
Yeah. There we go.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. You're all in one.
How many rounds are we doing?
I don't know. Inflicts damage and has a 10% chance of causing the target to flinch.
Squirtle.
Yeah?
Air slash?
Bite.
No. Pardon?
Bite.
Nah.
10% chance.
Squirtle.
Yep.
Headbutt.
No.
Squirtle.
Yeah.
No, I haven't got one in mind.
Okay. It's the signature move of someone that we saw in the last episode we talked about.
Oh, damn it.
Squirtle.
Yeah?
Boomerang.
That's not what it's called.
Bone Club.
There we go.
Hey.
Okay, there's two more. There's
I've
two
never
more.
even used that move.
Okay,
because
two
I've never
more.
used keyboard.
Unless Harry wins this, then Harry wins. So either Oliver or yeah. Okay, so where's the description for this move? Is a non-damaging normal type move. Wait, sorry. Puts the target to sleep.
Pidgeot.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yawn.
Nah.
Damn it.
Squirtle.
Yeah, Oliver was first.
Spore.
Nah.
Squirtle.
Yeah.
Sing.
Yep.
No!
Harry wins!
That was so obvious.
Yeah, I was
I
expecting
should have
Dennis to
known
go
that.
with Sing
I was gonna
straight up.
say spore. Thank you, Oliver.
Oh my god.
So Harry wins. No point doing the next one.
That was fun. Okay.
What was the
That
next
was-
one? Out of curiosity.
The next
Logan?
one was dive.
What we did die.
Well,
Oh.
Oliver already did that.
Oh well, then the next one
We'll
was.
save it. Maybe we'll do it again.
Yeah, with those, that's a good challenge, I think.
That was
I like
fun.
that.
Yeah,
that
that's
was a good time.
challenge.
I enjoyed that.
So Harry's
We
our
should do that for
champion.
you next time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, clapping sounds really bad on the microphone.
Oh, good point.
But it's fine.
So Bulbasaur in the Hidden Village. So this is
Oh, where's the
so this is the start of a
It's hidden.
super cool. I haven't seen it, but I know what this trilogy of the next coming trilogy of episodes is.
Yeah. Star Wars who?
Yeah. Thank you. So
Nice one, dude.
Thank you. I workshopped that for a while.
You probably did
I've
as well,
got
to be honest.
for some reason. Oh yeah, they've
You
lost.
pay,
and
pay a
they've,
grand and a half for a comedy course. Gotta get some.
Yeah.
they've taken a shortcut, and it's like Ash must rely on his instincts to kind of like get through.
And then you see them in like
Great.
waist high tall grass.
Yeah. Well, that's
What
what
instincts does Ash have? Like, he's just from Pallet Town. He's never left.
I always thought Ash would
He's
be
a 10-year-old that's been like
not a team
thrust
instinct.
into the
Well,
forest.
yeah, this whole
Yeah.
episode reminds me of the Emperor's New Groove kind of vibes, like when it's like Patcha and Cusco
Mhm.
going through the woods. It's kind of like those, and
Yeah.
like Cusco's like, I have an innate sense of direction. That's kind of what Ash feels like, right?
They are very much like it is very much like a road trip kind of vibe throughout this series
Yeah.
as well.
Watching this episode, I realized I practically didn't need to rewatch it because I remember this episode so clearly.
I used to watch.
It's the one I want to like watch back all the
Oh,
time when I was a
yeah.
kid, and I remember
Oh,
every single scene. It was so nice to watch again.
I would go to the library and borrow like Pokemon VHSs from the library, and they'd come like you get 3 episodes per VHS, and like
Mhm.
this episode was
Mhm.
like always one that I would always like watch through the whole way. What's so funny?
It's just like going to the library for VHSs.
And Pokemon VHS.
And keep in mind that this was when like DVDs and stuff were out as well, so like it was still
It was like they
in
were
the
out, but they weren't
mid-2000s.
the king yet.
Yeah,
Right.
and like it was nostalgic to
Brand
me
new
actually.
things.
Really
know-
showing your age, dude.
It's really I'm not that old. It's really interesting because the
That is
VHS
what-
the VHS grain effect is like kind of nostalgic to me now because like you don't get that on like VHSs or like on Netflix or even DVDs like
Yeah,
the
damn
Yeah.
Netflix.
The
Gone-
audio
gone are the-
VHS grand.
Gone are the days of a VHS on a CRT.
Oh my
TV,
god.
you know.
You know what I can do like if I ever go back to Australia, I have a Pokemon VHS, and like we should totally like hook that up, and then
We'd have to get a VHS player.
and if we get a VHS player and just like watch like the Pokemon
They're pretty
VHS,
funny. Yeah.
and then you could see it how I used to see it as a kid.
Back in the good old days.
Yeah,
Oh, damn.
About 30 years ago.
yeah. So the trio are out walking and they come across a wild Oddish, and
Actually, this is the first time we've seen Dexter for like he pulls out Dexter again. We haven't seen Dexter for the last like 3 episodes.
oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah, I was like, wait, that Dexter? Where have
Wait,
you
our
been?
good friend.
Yeah.
Dick?
Good.
Like
fourth
I
team
think that's
member, fifth
in
team
the
member.
later like series and stuff, Ash will like pull out the Pokedex at every single Pokemon, even though he's seen it like 10 times
Yeah.
beforehand.
Oh, cool.
Oh, gee.
So it's like quite
He's
a
like,
little
wow,
obnoxious.
what's this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because that was the first time in a while. But yeah, it says the Oddish is common.
Hmm.
And then Ash wants to catch it, but Misty's like, no, it's near the water, so it's mine.
And it's
I think
blue.
that's
Sound
Yeah.
sound logic
Yep,
there.
which makes
That's-
no sense at all.
that's
but,
her
good
argument.
on Misty for trying.
And she goes to. Does she pull out? Oh, she pulls out Staryu, or is it Starmite to fight it?
Wait, what was the Pokemon?
Starmie.
Staryu,
And
Starmite, Starmie. Oh, I was
No,
saying
you
like
said
Vegemite.
Starmite.
Starmite, the
Starmie.
long lost cousin of Vegemite and
yeah, are we
Marmite.
It's the mom.
Are we
Starmite.
Starmite man? Are we Starmite fans or Marmite fans?
I like
I am neither.
I like
I like
neither.
Vegemite for the record.
I
Just saying.
Yeah.
Tell where we're
Starmite.
shooting this is clearly in New Zealand.
Just imagine just like some like ground up Starmie like just
Ugh.
on your toast,
Mmm, nice salty kind of seafood kind
Yeah,
of.
it would just be like a fish
Taste.
paste. You know?
Like pate?
like a seafood,
yeah.
like what's it called? Caviar. Like that's
Yeah.
like fish eggs.
Caviar.
Have you had
So Star-
caviar?
No,
Starmie
the idea
eggs.
of eating fish eggs is just like grosses me out. But then like I'll eat pate, which I guess is similar. But
Yeah.
Well, not really, because pate is like pasted
Liver.
up liver and kidneys and stuff.
Yeah, fish eggs just
And
like
then
the idea
Caviar
of,
is
like,
just straight up fish eggs.
yeah, the idea of like biting into little fish eggs, like just like I'm sure like if I like no one told me what it was and I tasted it, I'll probably be like, oh, this is nice. But if I knew it was little fish eggs, I think it would like
What
get,
about the
What?
idea of like biting into a chicken?
Yeah.
You know.
yeah, well, it's a similar thing, isn't it?
I guess
What
like
came first, the chicken or the fish egg? You know.
you're just not used to it, I guess.
Yeah,
You know, which came first, the fish or the egg? You know?
And
Well, after
so,
that
screw
lovely
the
little
chicken.
tangent.
Why'd the fish
so
cross the road?
Misty gets ball blocked by Bulbasaur out of nowhere. Bulbasaur just shoots out.
Bulbasaur, very cool.
And
son,
I
Bulbasaur.
need to pause here because we have something important to address.
Oh yes.
So it's this episode and this scene when Bulbasaur comes out, when Ash starts to try to battle the Bulbasaur, that we see in the background Misty, Brock, and Pikachu. And Pikachu is pulling that classic Pikachu meme face.
Oh, is it this episode?
It is
Really?
this episode. Yeah.
The shocked Pikachu
The
fight.
shocked Pikachu face.
Ah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh
So
my
for people
god.
who are a big fan of that memes, there you go. Episode 10, Bulbasaur in the Hidden Village is where
For
you
people
will
who
find
like
that.
memes.
That's like in the first like minute or two of the episode.
That's
That's
so
the
good.
probably the one new thing I learned on this rewatch was I instantly somehow spotted that meme straight
Oh
away.
my god, that's so good.
Do you think they put that on
I missed it,
Bulbapedia
that's so good.
Sure.
Sorry?
as like a trivia thing?
Yeah, it must be. 'cause
No,
it's
I just realized it.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
so
it must be
good.
in Bulbapedia because like it's like
It would
such
be,
like a
yeah.
meme.
Yeah.
The shocked Pikachu fight.
That's my main contribution for this episode.
Should,
Thank you, Aaron.
should everyone give their best Shock Pikachu
Okay,
impression?
Yeah, you go first, Dennis.
Oh,
Okay.
I like that.
All right.
That's a good one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good one, Logan.
Good, Logan.
Well, Oliver went heavy on the eyebrows, I
Yeah.
think. Oh, nice, Harry. Nice.
Oh,
one.
should we do it at the same time for like the thumbnail or something?
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Okay, there we
That's
go.
good.
Yeah, there
Good
you go.
job, team.
So yeah, we see them try to fight a Bulbasaur, and Starmie gets absolutely destroyed
Starmie gets
by the Bulbasaur
bodied. I
It's like-
thought Starmie gets like KO'd like
so many times.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, but this is actually this time though, Starmie's limbs are like folded
limp.
over, and it looks kind of like crumbly.
Oh,
It was gross.
Yeah.
What's
That is
interesting
pretty
is like so far in the series, we see that Starmie is actually weaker than Misty Staryu,
yeah.
which shouldn't
So
be
far,
the
yeah.
Starmie's the
way-
evolution.
yeah.
Yeah.
Starmie is the evolution, but it's treated as the weaker of the two. It's
Yeah,
quite
very weird.
interesting. Yeah.
I think like as well they kind of they can like have Staryu look is a bit more dynamic because it doesn't have those extra what are they called?
Spikes.
Limbs? Yeah. So like if it's like
Leaps.
spinning around they can make it look quite more like spinny than like Staryu, which will just look like it's just kind of spinning slowly.
Staryu
Yeah.
looks
And also
cooler.
it's easier to animate, I think, as
It's
well,
probably
and
cheaper and
draw.
easier to add. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Bulbasaur escapes after KOing Starmie.
Yeah.
And then we see the trio crossing a bridge. Ash just out in front,
Oh my
marching
God.
away.
This is crazy.
This is
Especially when
wild.
you learn the explanation for the bridge. I was like, holy oh.
So
So they're going across the bridge, and then the bridge starts to like fall and crack like in like an adventure story.
yes,
And then the whole bridge cracks, and Misty and Ash manage to make it.
yeah, because the bridge gives way from
Yeah.
like the what is it
rope's been
the
cut.
side. It goes onto its side because it's a rope bridge, and like they're like holding on for dear life.
And someone's like
And-
weakened the ropes.
And so Brock falls into the water because this this rope bridge is over like this like it looks like this like super intense stream of
yeah, it's
water.
rapids. They're rapids. They were
Mhm.
told they're rapids.
And he falls into the water like something like I don't know, like
The
2
shot
stories or
of Brock
something.
falling is horrific.
Yeah.
It's like he's falling to his death.
I have
And
vivid
then
memories.
so Brock
of
dies.
3 or 4
Yeah,
year old Harry
basically.
Yeah,
thinking
And
that
when-
Brock just died.
yeah. And the rest of the series is Ash and Misty
Just imagining
warning
Brock's there.
Brock. But no, so okay, so they Ash and Misty they get to the side of the bridge, they pull themselves up from the rope bridge,
Yeah.
and they
Mhm.
decide that they need to go find
Mhm.
Brock's corpse and give him a proper burial.
And then
You're like,
Misty
well, time to
falls.
scoop 'em up.
Misty falls into a hole.
Yeah, she falls into a pitfall.
Yeah, and I thought this was gonna be Team Rocket.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, me
oh,
too.
Team Rocket
Okay.
did all of this because of the hole they did in like episode 2 or 3
Yeah.
when they dig the
Mhm.
first hole.
They're famous for digging holes.
Yeah.
And then they get out and then they fall into another trap, a rope trap that pulls them into a net.
Yeah, and then they knitted
Mhm.
up. And I was waiting for Team Rocket to come, and this is so funny when I thought it was hilarious Ash's daydream of what happened to Brock.
Oh my god.
But he's just
Yeah.
like he got pulled out to sea, and then what if he get caught by pirates and the pirates have legs? And then Misty's like,
He's a peg
stop
leg.
daydreaming, and then Ash is just like quietly, like seriously, he's like, and then the storm came.
And then you just hear an ahoy, and
Yeah.
Brock magically survived to fall into the rapids,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and he's
Yeah.
there to save the
Amazing.
two.
and he cuts them down with like a knife, which is like the first time
Brock
we've
is
seen
their
like
savior.
we've seen a sharp weapon before actually.
So
Yeah.
that's good. I'm glad that Brock's alive. You know,
Me
I think
too.
it would be
everyone
super
is.
intense if he wasn't.
Imagine,
Like,
him just
imagine if
disappear.
Brock died, we just have
That was
Tracy
just like
forever,
it's
and I
just like
wouldn't take that.
it's just like a question hanging over this series. Like, what
Yeah,
happened
what if
to Brock?
they never mention it again? It's just him falls and that's it. They just move on.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That
So
would be fantastic.
Well, then we get the Brock flashback.
yeah. Oh
Is
yeah,
the
we
next
see
thing
how
again.
he kind of got
Mhm.
rescued
Yeah, and so
by
well, Brock's in the rapids, and then a girl pulls him out, who he being Brock, falls in love with straight away, and then we learn. Then he takes them to him, and we learn that her name is Melanie, and
Mhm.
she's a
She-
Pokemon caregiver, basically.
yeah, she runs like essentially it's like a Pokemon sanctuary for Pokemon that have been released or weakened to kind of rest before going back out into the wild.
And like she says, abandoned as well.
yeah.
Which is like it's like the thing that people just abandon their Pokemon, which
But
I
it
know
does happen.
I know that's what the next episode tackles a bit more heavily is the
Mhm.
abandonment of Pokemon.
It's like when
Quite
you're playing
upsetting.
when you're playing Pokemon Go, how many Pokemon do you just like send to the professor to
Thousands.
get turned into candies and stuff?
Heartless.
Wait,
Heartless
did the
people.
Pokemon get turned into candy?
Well,
Well,
it's
you give them to the professor and you get a candy in return.
yeah.
So no, maybe.
So payment. No, it's payment. That's all.
Yeah, well,
No.
it's like a fun fan theory.
God, yeah, Pokemon's got some messed
So
up fan
we see
theories.
Yeah.
some physical, a little bit of physical abuse happening because Misty kind of teases Brock about Brock liking Melanie, and Brock is like having none of it. He
He
does
thumps her-
this,
thumps
thumps
her
her
on
on
the
the
head.
head.
Gives it a
Which I guess
punch.
soon you're gonna see that Misty kind of returns the favor a little bit, like when Brock is like crushing on a girl. So I always
Mhm.
so like I like Misty will pull Brock away by the ear. I never thought that Brock would have started it, but I guess they did.
It's
And
it's interesting to think because back when Misty and Ash were first introduced, like the slap that Misty gives Ash is cut out, but
Mhm.
they're okay with Brock bonking her on the head a couple of times. But I guess
Mm.
because it's kind of seen more as in playful favor.
It's it's
Yeah.
in playful
Yeah,
context.
because that first slap that's cut out is like full on.
it's like a serious
it's like because
Yeah.
like they're not friends yet.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Like I guess you wouldn't like slap strangers.
No,
Is
Yeah.
a bit
you would hope not.
yeah.
Unless that's
But
what you're
it's
into.
just interesting to see the kind of guidelines that the I don't know if it's 4Kids at this time that took over for international release, but whoever has it, it's kind of interesting to see their guidelines for what they deem like
What's acceptable and what's
acceptable
not.
for
Yeah.
physical abuse or not.
Yeah. I guess they
God,
aired
that
on the
segue.
side.
So you were just like, so next we see some physical abuse. Like,
Oh yeah.
it sounds really heavy to say.
It
but, like, I
does.
guess if you break it
It's
down,
just it's a gentle bonk on the
But
head,
it's like
Yeah.
playful siblings.
yeah. That's true. I guess like as kids as well, you do that, on the playground and stuff. Like
Yeah, it's like hit each other.
you'll just
Yeah.
you'll just be like you'll roughhouse.
Yeah, well, me and my twin brother, we used to have full on like fist fights and like kick each other and like tackle like all the
I
time.
used to do it with my
Wow.
brother as well.
Like
Yeah.
every
Me
day.
and my brother used to beat the crap out of each other.
Yes, yes. I'd always win, of course, but
to be a child.
yeah.
It's 50-50. I'll be honest.
but yeah, I liked as well how like when Melody first sees them,
Melanie.
first sees them, she's like, "Oh, he's told me all about you," and I'm like, "In what time has Brock had to tell Melanie all about?"
Mhm.
Well, I mean, who knows how long they were in the net for?
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah.
I mean,
True.
at one
Could've
point
been weeks.
in the previous episode, he said they'd been adventuring for 2 months,
Yeah.
and it seems I thought it would just been like maybe 3 days or something like
Yeah.
that.
I guess because there's a lot of grind that we don't see. Because like
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
Ash is definitely like a bit better.
Yeah, for sure,
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, and we learn as well that Melanie was the one who set all the traps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This sweet, innocent girl cut a Okay, what if I didn't even know that sanctuary was there, and I just have to go across this bridge because like I have to like get somewhere? You could have died. You could have died.
You can
if I went
murder.
on that
Yep.
bridge.
Murder.
Yeah.
That is murder.
Although we do see Team Rocket seem to be very aware of the sanctuary, and they are already they're crossing that rope bridge that collapses beneath them, and they fall into the rapids as well.
Yeah, but it's like Melanie, like, she seems nice and
it's a
stuff,
bit
but she's
brutal.
got some.
It's pretty
some
damn
messed up-
dangerous.
Yeah.
For sure.
I get that you're holding the Pokemon to a high like esteem. You're trying to save Pokemon, but if you have humans like this far down low,
Mm.
like that you're willing to murder them, not a good look.
No, if she hadn't been there. Oh, sorry, Harry.
It's
Go.
pretty tricky to justify because you can give the fact that sure, like these Pokemon have been abandoned, and maybe the abusive trainers decided they want them back, or there's poachers like Team Rocket come to get them. They do kind of want to stop them. But then on the other hand, like Logan said, if you're just a traveler who's kind of a bit lost, you just gotta die.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I like how after this we see Team Rocket fall into a hole, and then like I think Jesse's like, no one ever falls into our hole, and then James is like, oh, look how like beautifully designed this hole is.
Honestly, same.
Yeah.
I
It's,
thought that was really funny.
Team Rocket are just they get better and better as
That's
episodes
really
go
funny,
on. Yeah.
Such a good moment.
So, Misty and Oddish have a deep and meaningful, and Misty,
They have a DMC.
They
Yeah.
have a
talk
good
it out.
they have a
Misty
good
like
DMC.
apologizes for like kind of coming off a bit too strong in the
Mm.
first meeting, and she like cries, and then Oddish is this really cute moment where Oddish kind of wipes away Misty's
Yes.
tear with its sleeve. But I was like thinking, what she could have like stabbed Misty in the eye.
And
you know?
doesn't Oddish use poison move?
Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
poison grass.
That doesn't
poison type.
inherently mean its leaves are poisonous.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you can touch them. Maybe she just might have a bit of an itchy eye, like a poison ivy
Yeah,
situation.
she has like a rash on her eye.
Yeah.
Some pink eye.
But that
And
scene
then,
with the Oddish dabbing the tears away has really like stuck out for me. So many
Oh,
years.
interesting.
I don't know why. There's no reason for it, but like I could
Just
just.
kind of burnt in your brain.
It's just burned in my brain. It's so
Interesting.
beautiful.
Well, it
It's-
just shows
yeah.
like the tenderness that Pokemon can have with humans, like
Mhm.
and not just that humans can have with Pokemon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
then Bulbasaur kind of like ruins the moment by like tackling Misty.
Yeah. Well, that's when we learn Bulbasaur's like the bodyguard of the sanctuary.
Yeah.
He's
He's
the
like-
guardian.
Mm.
Yeah, he's like the self-appointed guardian, it seems like.
Yeah, but Melanie also kind of accepts the fact that he's there and like
Yeah.
appreciates his help.
She kind of lets him do his job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although she kind of just like at the end she kind of was like, "Here, take him."
Yeah. Well, because he does his job too well, which is
Yeah.
what we learn. Like he's too good at.
You can be from this episode, you can be too good at your job. So that you will become redundant.
Bulbasaur, where are we at? So then
Team Rocket attack.
Oh, Team Rocket are flying. I didn't know what they were flying on for so long. I thought they were on a turtle shell.
A tortoiseshell.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
it was like
when-
a giant shell. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, is this some kind of prehistoric
In the
Pokemon
sky.
Yeah.
that they've attached like balloons to? But then we learn it's like a stadium roof.
Yeah.
But like, what stadium and where?
And how
This
can a
is
stadium
like,
roof be held by 4 balloons?
It's like
Yeah.
there's a town that's like missing a giant
Probably.
stadium. They've like stolen a stadium.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How
and-
inconspicuous can they not be?
Yeah,
By flying a
definitely.
giant stadium.
And then this is actually one of their like better plans, though.
I mean, is it?
yeah,
they
they-
use the plan is they use a giant hose, which we've seen them use several times before. That's
Good
their,
point. This isn't
their-
the first hose.
their MO. This isn't their first hose.
But you know, I
they've
think
hosed before.
I think the hose is like a good like in exit theory, you know, the hose is a good idea. You just suck it all and you kind of. I don't know how they control how the stadium balloon like goes up and down,
Yeah,
but they do.
I forget how hose heavy Team Rocket are in like the.
It's
this-
a classic
Hose.
trope of
We
this.
have-
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
seen it quite a few times actually. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah,
Good point.
thinking about like the later seasons, they don't use the hose quite as much. They get a bit more creative. But
The
like
hose.
Yeah, the riders probably
they're like, we're tired of hoses. But right
hose-
now they're in prime hose territory.
Reminds me of in Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were Rabbit. Have you guys seen that one?
Oh, classic.
When at the
hosing up
end,
all
like
bunnies.
Wallace invents that like thing that he puts into like the rabbit holes. Oh no, it's at the very beginning, and he sucks them all up into the thing. That's what the hoses
Classic.
always remind me of.
Yeah.
Which is why
Yeah.
I think, you know, in theory, the hose is a good idea for capturing Pokemon.
Good idea.
It'll be good to see
Yeah,
a
if Wallace can do
Pokemon
it.
Wallace and Gromit crossover where they help out Team Rocket.
A Wallace and Gromit crossover. Actually, a Pokemon episode in claymation like that probably would be pretty cool.
It would be good. Actually,
It
have
would
you
be
seen
pretty-
like
As long
rubber?
as
You got the
What is it?
claymation cards.
They do like the parody in what
Robot
is
Chicken?
it? Robot Chicken, yeah.
Robot.
Robot Chicken,
Mhm.
not Robot Chicken.
As long as the penguin with the guns there, I'm okay.
Oh,
So
Jesus, good.
the Team Rocket
Gromit's
have
the
the
best
stadium, and they like starting to suck at like everything, and they run into the hut to, I guess, regroup. And like I suddenly just thought while I was watching this, where do people poop when they live out in the woods like this? Because I don't see an outhouse.
Well, you gotta put it. You go in the woods, but you gotta also like hang it up at the tree, so like
Yeah, people hanging up in trees.
so you
What?
don't attract the bears. That's like
Yeah.
So are we like
I didn't
somewhere
know
like
that. I'm a city
Yeah,
boy, and I did
that's
not
the
know
thing.
that.
I thought you're
Yeah.
meant to like bury it, like
Yeah,
dig a
I
hole
always
and
thought
bury
it
it.
was
You
like
either
holes.
bury it
yeah. I
or
think
hang
if
it
you
up.
bury it though, like the bears can still like I don't know. It's something to do with bears. I
If you live in an area of bears.
Oh yeah,
And that's not the
bears.
big, hairy,
yeah.
lovely gay man.
Uh,
That's the
yeah.
animal.
No, I was not referring to homosexual men.
Are there any bear Pokemon like in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
in the and there's no
Yeah.
bear Pokemon
Teddy
in the
Esser
world
and
so far
Ursaring.
though.
Yeah, actually there
Don't
are a
forget
few.
Beware.
Yeah, but he's
You
not
could
in the game,
argue-
in the show.
You could argue Snorlax is kind of a bear as well.
Yeah.
What is
ish.
Snorlax?
I
actually?
always thought Snorlax to be like a giant Japanese tanuki.
What?
Yeah.
Like I would.
Well, at least inspired by it.
I
Like
thought
he's
he was
not
like
a
an ape.
tanuki. He's not
Yeah.
a tanuki, of course,
Not an
but
ape,
like
he's not a monkey.
Yeah.
But
Well,
he's got
yeah.
monkey ears.
But he's got. I thought that no.
No, he doesn't. He's got
there's-
like cat ears.
Yeah, like I think the thing is like a lot of these Pokemon from the first gen, they're like kind of amalgamations of like a bunch of different monsters. Like Pikachu doesn't look like exactly like a mouse, for instance.
Yeah.
But
But
Yeah.
But it's
Looks like a rat.
interesting. So the original idea for Pokemon came from Satoshi Tajiri when he was doing his bug catching. He was really into bug catching as a kid.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then he grew an artistic side and started drawing animals inspired by insects, which is why I feel like there's an abundance of bug Pokemon because it was kind of Satoshi's MO to start.
And
But it's
and
kind
in
of
the
good,
games.
good to see the evolution throughout the years as more artists come on board to create more Pokemon and see what they can actually inspire. Like who would have thought back in 1997 that we'll have an ice cream Pokemon by 2013?
Classic.
An ice cream Pokemon that a lot of people hate.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Designed by an American, actually. Like I think.
Yeah.
Which is ironic
it
because a
was.
lot of people thought that the American would have designed Braviary, the giant USA Eagle. Nah,
Yeah.
That wasn't.
classic
He-
American made the ice cream,
Yeah. Well, he designed a bunch of Pokemon as well, so it's
Yep.
not like he
Mhm.
just designed
not just the ice
cream.
cream.
Unfortunately.
So once Team Rocket are sucking away at the hut.
Actually,
and...
do you know what I noticed in this episode?
Yeah.
They don't do their motto.
No, they don't.
Well, they do
Oh,
their motto as they're flying on the stadium roof.
Yeah.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
On the
They do
way
a
to
new
the
one, I
village.
think, though.
No,
Yeah.
they do. They do the actual one. They just kind of cut it short a bit. There's a few
Oh, okay.
lines missing.
They
That's all.
truncate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're sucking away at the hut, and I think they've come up with a plan because Bulbasaur jumps onto the roof and hits the vacuum.
Hold on, we'll go back a little bit because
Oh, yeah.
we missed
'Cause Oddish is getting-
Oddish gets sucked
Oh yeah,
up,
Oddish is.
which then
Oh, that's right,
Bulbasaur
yeah. Oddish is
manages to
getting sucked
catch
up.
at the very last second. So Ash, Misty, and Brock and Melanie like grabbing all the Pokemon to put him in the hut. So
Mhm.
Ash hands off to Staryu to Misty and goes back and gives a nice little boost to Bulbasaur, who saved this Oddish. And you can see in Bulbasaur's eyes, he's like, you know what, this guy is actually quite nice.
Aw, yeah, that was
He's
sweet.
like-
Little,
He's like, you're right.
yeah, little hint at what's going to happen later on.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, going back, Bulbasaur's on the roof and flicks a few vines at the hose to like knock it off axis so that then it's not sucking at the hut anymore.
Yeah.
And then Ash sends out Pidgeotto, and we see I think frankly, a huge feat of strength from Pidgeotto because Ash
Mhm.
gets Pidgeotto to use Gust, and it combines with the air being sucked from the hose to create a whirlwind that like blows into Team Rocket, and that essentially blows them away.
Blasts them off again.
Yeah,
Again.
I think was it only Meowth says it, doesn't he? This time,
Maybe.
Meowth only.
No, I'm pretty
Meowth's-
sure they all say it.
Man, I love whenever Meowth
Yeah.
speaks.
I remember.
I just gotta say, Meowth is just so.
He's just his one-liners.
I'm pretty sure it is
Yeah,
in
his
this
always
one.
one-liners, yeah.
Meowth only says Team Rocket. We're
He's
only
good, he's a
blasting
good
off
little
again.
speaker.
Yeah.
My question kind of is like, during the whole passing Pokemon off into the hut and the sucking, we know there's a Magikarp in that pond. Do they just leave the Magikarp in that pond? as a potential risk to get sucked up.
But then
Maybe.
Yeah.
the water's not getting sucked up though. It's only
Yeah,
the
but
land.
that's like, but it's it could have happened. That's
Oh, yeah,
like
definitely. What? Yeah, it's
so
like
the
like
poor little Magikarp is just abandoned again.
It's like
Mm.
it's like if in the water gym one in Cerulean City where like Pikachu electrocutes the thing and there's apparently heaps of fish at the bottom who are like we don't see but they're probably dead.
Right,
Oh yeah,
that's
for
fair.
sure. They're all
Yeah.
dead.
Pokemon I guess always has little things like that. Like we like if you examine it, like when the Pokemon Center blew up in episode 2.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
extreme. I guess you gotta like go hard or go home.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
There's
So-
casualties of war.
So Ash has
We should have a
Let's say-
list of all the casualties. See what the number is,
Casualty
you
list.
know?
like a
Have it in like
Oh
the
my
top
God.
left corner or something.
like a body
of
count.
every episode.
Okay, so one
I
for
bet it's pretty up
Magikarp in
there.
this episode.
Well, we see the Magikarp in the end, so we know he's safe.
Okay, he
Yeah.
probably just swam down or
Right.
something.
Mm.
Yeah.
So Melanie kind of gives a monologue about why Ash should take Bulbasaur
Yeah.
with him.
Yes, she
she-
thinks that Bulbasaur would be
Yeah.
better off with Ash.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
saying that like Bulbasaur right now like doesn't have the space. It's not doing enough to get the bulb on his back to like bloom and grow.
Yeah, and that it's protecting the Pokemon a bit too well because
Yeah.
now they don't want to leave.
Because like the best moments for Melanie are when the Pokemon get the strength. Go on.
Essentially, Bulbasaur is like your 32-year-old son that's still at home, and you're the parent, and you're like, you need to go out into the world.
Well, I don't know if it was that. She said that Bulbasaur's bulb is not going to grow here. She's kind of more
Mhm.
concerned about Bulbasaur growing as a Pokemon
It's like
Mm.
how
than offering him
Well-
off to another person as if
Yeah,
he's
well-
a problem.
That's
Yeah,
true,
no,
and
He's
Ash
just
has
out there to get-
proven
to grow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ash has definitely proven that he's like a really capable trainer as well,
Yeah.
or like he has the heart
Mhm.
for it.
And Melanie sees Bulbasaur's potential.
Do
and,
you
like, doesn't
think-
want it to be wasted?
Do you think Bulbasaur was an abandoned Pokemon?
I think there could be the case delivered for it.
Yeah.
Because
because
like
it has this need to protect other Pokemon.
yeah, and like
and that could be due to because there was no one ever to protect it.
mhm.
it could just be
So possible.
born though and just be a Bulbasaur in the wild as well.
Yeah, that's true. But then
It did say, yeah.
because yeah, he's just like a lone Bulbasaur as well, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, because we're all the if it was a Bulbasaur like in the wild, it would have a family, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me,
Like,
maybe
it-
maybe it was abandoned. That would give it some
But
character.
the case is there, but I can see why they didn't outright state it
Because that would
of
kind
with
of
next
overlap.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll understand why, but the
Oh,
case can certainly be argued.
I'm so sad when I read. I was so sad when I read the description for the next episode. I was
It's
like,
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It is heartbreaking.
Well, we'll get to that
Well,
soon.
Yeah.
What's the name of the next episode? I don't have it written down.
The name of the next episode is I did write it. It's called episode 11, The Stray Pokemon.
The Stray
Mhm.
Pokemon.
But yeah.
And
But yeah, this episode ends though with them Pikachu and Bulbasaur have a fight. That's so Bulbasaur sees
Yeah.
that Ash is worthy. And Pikachu just ends it how he's been ending every fight. I hope he uses a different move eventually. He just uses Thunder Shot.
Well, you're
Does
gonna be
Pikachu have
disappointed,
another
Logan.
move? Come and tell. Huh?
Yeah, he does learn other moves in like I know other seasons for sure. What about this one though?
Yeah, but like this move,
he
he just keeps.
he'll use
Thunder Shot.
quick attack and stuff, but like his main power, you have a Pokemon, for example, you got a Blastoise, his
Yeah.
best move is a Hydro Pump. You're gonna use that most of the
Yeah.
time.
like when Pokemon like in the Gen 1 games, Pikachu's like moves that it can learn are quite limited. It can only learn
Yeah.
like Thunder Shock, Thunderbolt, Slam, Quick Attack, Thunder Wave, Tackle, any
Yeah,
kind
probably it.
you gotta put into
and-
account like future episodes. Pikachu's like main MO was Quick Attack, Thunderbolt, Iron Tail.
Yeah.
Iron Tail didn't come in until next generation because Steel's not around in this
Yeah.
Yeah,
generation.
I know he
True.
uses Iron Tail in
Gen
the
3.
Mystery in the Misty
Mhm.
rematch though as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
In that fight.
And like it learned Iron Tail specifically because it was I think specifically for ground types, but also
Mhm.
I think just to have a little like a close contact kind of move.
Yep, exactly for that.
Yeah, so Bulbasaur somehow conducts electricity and gets beaten. Uh, and then he captures. Does he put it in a Pokeball? I don't think
Yeah.
he
He
puts
puts
it
in the Pokeball.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
he
he
puts it in
catches
a
it.
Pokeball.
That shot of Bulbasaur getting hit by the Pokeball is in the opening.
Mhm.
of the show.
Yep.
Ah, cool. I never watched. I watched it. Maybe I haven't.
Darn Netflix with their skip
I
intro.
I've actually always watched the intro.
I never.
Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
never.
don't click skip.
It gets you in
because
the mood,
it's
doesn't it?
the
Yeah, it
it's the
sets you
one
up.
show I can't skip the intro on. It's
Oh.
so
hypes
good.
you up.
For sure. So Ash catches Bulbasaur,
And then
and
Brock offers to stay with Melanie. I wrote down bit soon, bro.
yeah,
Like he only just met. It's been like what, like 3 or 4 hours, and he's like, "Can I live with you?"
yeah, he's
Yeah,
like,
true. It hasn't even been a day. It's a bit messed up.
he's ditching like Ash and Misty. He's like, see you later. I'm gonna follow my instincts.
And then he hits Misty again when Misty teases him again.
Yeah,
Well, I can also see his intentions though, because he is out to be a Pokemon breeder, and this kind of it would help him towards that. But
This aligns with
It would
his
give him
ultimately,
some-
Melanie's like, nah, man, go with your friends.
Yeah.
She's like, "What? Get out of here!"
Yeah, you've got like a different
You scam.
journey.
You're pretty
basically.
creepy. I don't want to wait. I don't want you to wait 8 years.
Oh. That's
Throwback.
Bring
if
it
you
back,
listen
back.
to the previous episode, you know what we're talking about.
Okay, but yeah, that was. Should we just do an episode roundup?
Yeah. Ultimately, this is a really like good introduction for Bulbasaur. You kind of get
Mhm.
where Bulbasaur is coming from. Bulbasaur is, I would say, the straight man of the team. Bulbasaur is
Oh,
like
yeah.
stern. He's serious. He's also responsible.
What are you
Bulbasaur
saying about straight men?
straight as in like the super serious one of the group.
I know. That's what you
Okay.
mean. I was kidding.
And he Bulbasaur is like he's quite strong as well and stubborn. We're gonna see so much more of Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is also like the first Pokemon in the Pokedex,
Mhm.
and
Is he?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yep, he's
Bulbasaur
number
is
one.
number one. So I think that's
What,
just
Squirtle number 2?
Squirtle's number
Well,
4.
Ivysaur is 2, Venusaur
Ah.
3, Squirtle is 4.
I had a
Yeah,
small chance.
had a brain fart there.
What
And
number's Charmander, Logan?
Have you
can
ever
do
looked
this.
at your Pokédex, Logan, in a game?
Yeah, I only in Shield where like I actually set out to fill it,
Mm.
and I still
Yeah,
haven't.
Okay.
But like I'm like over halfway. I actually booted up yesterday, Shield, for the first time in a
Mhm.
while. But
And
sidetrack.
I've
My
filled out
thoughts
the
on the episode
Pokédex.
though.
I didn't
Yeah.
finish it.
Okay.
I thought it was a peaceful episode. I mean, we kind of get more about maybe people in relation to Pokemon. Like we see Misty and Oddish, and you get like a humanizing element to that as well, where like Pokemon aren't just animals. They what they feel are responsibilities or emotions, and they're able to empathize, which hasn't been shown too much with the series, maybe outside of Pikachu. Maybe Caterpie kind of had a story which is quite good, but we haven't seen that like to its full effect with maybe a larger bunch of Pokemon. So it's nice to have Bulbasaur there. And yeah, I really like Bulbasaur, and I'm super glad that he's part of the team. And his his voice is just so fun to imitate.
Bulbasaur. It's like Sebulba from Phantom Menace. Sebulba.
Yeah, I thought that
Another Star
episode
Wars reference.
was super fun. I liked. I thought it was fun. I thought Team Rocket have like this kind of like just Team Rocket hitting their stride, still being funny. Like I laughed again in this episode. I hope they keep it fresh though. That's my only worry with Team Rocket is that it could get stale for me right now. But I feel like if they're still around now, they must somehow be keeping it fresh. So I look forward to seeing how they keep that fresh. I loved seeing Bulbasaur because he's one of the few Pokemon that I actually like have used and recognized and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he's like integrated into the team. But I'm looking forward to the whole trilogy because I know next episode the Pokemon that we meet, and I know the episode after who we meet after that, and so it's very exciting. Yeah, and this is actually the first time we kind of see a Pokemon have responsibilities, apart from like Pikachu's working at the
Pokemon Center.
Pokemon Centers
Oh, we
and
see
stuff.
Chansey as well.
Yeah, but this is like the first time we have like an unappointed, like Bulbasaur wasn't appointed to be a security guard. Like he appoints himself as a security guard, which is kind of like cool seeing like Pokemon take on like responsibilities that are like far and beyond what's expected of a Pokemon.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is cool.
Yeah, I like I said at the top of this episode, I remember this one so vividly, and it's just ingrained in my mind from forever well. Is it my favorite? Probably not. Like top 2 or 3. My favorite's actually coming up very soon, not next episode, but the episode afterwards. Um, but what I love about this as well is that we haven't seen much of a character in a Pokemon since Caterpie, and then when Caterpie evolves into Metapod and Butterfree, it kind of loses that character it had when Caterpie was first there. Bulbasaur's character, yeah,
Yeah, I think.
Bulbasaur's character really stands out in this episode, and it stands out for the rest of the series. He is the guardian of Ash's team. He's the, like Dennis said, he's a straight man. He's the brawn of the operation.
Oh, cool.
And it's a lovely little setup to get the dynamic of Ash's team. But it's just such a lovely and heartwarming episode for all around. You see the connection with Misty and Brock; they get closer together. You see Ash form a connection with new Pokemon. You see Brock's again smitten with another lady, which becomes quite honestly overbearing by the end of it. It happens quite a lot, but it's fun. There's just so much in this episode that it sets up for the rest of the season, and it's just good. It's just a solid episode.
Well, I have a different take on the episode
Okay.
from
I
you
see.
guys. Bulbasaur, kind of a trash Pokemon. Venusaur, trash Pokemon. I don't like it. Venusaur,
gosh.
in the current competitive meta, the only way to have a good Venusaur, you gotta have Substitute, Leech Seed, and Toxic on it. You
Okay,
gotta have
see-
Right. Okay. Well,
Oliver-
stop you there.
Oliver,
you're being a
total
talking
Giselle.
You're being a
video
total
game, not
AJ
the
right
anime
now.
I'm
Pokemon.
adding that because I don't have this nostalgia that you guys have, right? I've never watched this before. So, when I come to this episode, I see Bulbasaur being an ass, then I don't like Bulbasaur.
You're coming from like a
Bulbasaur-
competitive.
You're sounding like
video
AJ
game style.
from the episode we
you
saw
sound
a
like
few
AJ now,
episodes
Oliver.
ago. Yeah, stop being such an AJ, Oliver.
Yeah.
I thought more Giselle. Like
Yeah.
I just
vibes,
think
but-
since this is my very first introduction,
Yeah, it's just like
I get Bulbasaur's thing. If he becomes more friendly and like cool, then that'll be nice.
Oh, we
But as of right now, I don't have much high hopes for Bulbasaur. I'm just gonna say.
Well,
Oh
you're
my
gonna be
gosh.
proven. Well,
and
it's good
actually,
to
guys,
know
this
that
is
you
the
will be
last
proven wrong.
episode with Oliver Knott as a host.
Yeah, so Oliver, we're replacing Oliver with a plank of wood.
Look, so we gotta have different views.
No, of course,
visible
yeah, we
and audible
appreciate-
improvement.
we appreciate you being bringing your opinion up, although
thanks.
Yeah, it's like I guess
although
it's good.
I
though.
highly disagree with it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
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 No, I thought.
But
Bulbasaur
yeah,
was
glad
like
to be
that.
here.
I think you'll warm up to Bulbasaur.
It's because like Oliver's
Okay,
coming
cool.
from
I
a
might.
game.
I'm not
I
saying I won't.
I was talking to Dennis about this when we wrapped up the last episode. Like Oliver's coming from like a game thing, whereas like
Mhm.
I feel like the series isn't about like fighting and XP. It's about like Ash's connections and like
Yes.
the
Yeah.
Pokemon's personalities a lot more. So like that's kind of what the whole point of this Bulbasaur is.
Yeah, it's kind of we totally get that you're coming from a game thing, and it's really tricky to take off that lens of like remembering that this is a TV show,
Yeah.
not the game.
Especially because
Mhm.
Oliver's just been jamming the game for like 14, 13 years. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that you brought that up about the series because I can definitely see what you mean. It's like the first series especially is about, it's like your young youth, like the like the ignorance of youth and the wonders and adventures that you go on through youth and your connections with others.
You
is-
said youth one too many times there.
Youth.
Dennis is
He's just
just
trying to recapture it.
Yeah.
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 So yeah.
No, that's a good point. That
Everyone
that is what
listening
this
is gonna think
mainly
Dennis
about.
is,
Like
like, way
three,
older than he-
like children practically on a journey.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
that's something that I think is so amazing is that about the games as well is like you're given because like as we're growing up we're not really given like much independence and we're given the opportunity with Pokemon in a safe environment to kind of just go out and adventure in the world and make mistakes
Mhm.
and kind of think critically about things
Well,
and
that's kind of
solve
like-
problems.
Like all video games, like they like you get like especially puzzle games or strategy games. Like as a kid, like they get you like thinking like in a completely different mindset.
yeah.
Mhm.
And like
But put it through
video
the,
games
put
type
it
of
the-
thing.
the-
Where, like
the-
if you, sorry Harry.
Go ahead.
Video games type of thing. Like when you play them like as a kid, like you learn to appreciate them when you get older and stuff. And then like I know some people. None of my friends are like it, but I have some. I know some people have friends who like just watch people play video games and like how can you possibly play a video game so just like boring and pointless.
Mm.
But actually, a
Wow.
great movie about the comment of video games is the Dragon Quest Your Story on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
At a really
Okay.
good comment on like playing video games as like a kid and like transitioning into like an adult and like recap. So good.
Yeah, if you watch it, maybe don't look at reviews because it's better if you go in blind, I think.
Well, I would say that
Sounds
with
good. Like,
everything.
you tear up thinking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go back on the game playing as well, like when you put the Pokemon lenses on, you're playing as a 10-year-old. Arguably most of the time, you're gonna be around that age when you first pick up a Pokemon game. So to kind of get that idea of freedom to go and explore an untapped world really brings out the joy and wonder of what can actually be for your own life as well. Like video games have a wonderful magic to do that, and so does the cartoon show as well, because it actually shows you what it's like. You get actual like visuals for it. It's a pretty strong medium. It's powerful.
Yeah.
We were saying between episodes that like the previous 2 episodes, which were about like battling and training and improving, it was kind of like saying almost that this isn't what the series is about. We're going to be looking at like adventuring and like looking at connections with people and Pokemon rather than like focusing on like leveling up and battling, because they showed you like if you wanted to,
because they showed bad sides of both of those,
and they kind of showed that like, you know, if you wanted us to like recreate the games, like maybe the gameplay or whatever, it'll just be like it'll be very like rote and kind of boring.
A boring turn-based anime show. You don't want that.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to jumping in to the rest of the series. So maybe we should we wrap up here?
Yeah.
Follow us on Dexperience on Facebook and Instagram
and YouTube.
We're on so you can listen or watch to us on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Are we on Apple yet? By the time this is out, we'll be definitely be on Apple.
And your podcast platform of choice.
Yeah, we're on most of them now. We've been Dexperience. If you're listening during the day, I hope you have the good rest of your day. If it's nighttime where you are, have a good night.
Sweet dreams. Sweet prince.
Ciao.
Molto bene.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes too.